happening? What's happening, YouTube people? Welcome to another Luk'A'Here, y'all podcast brought to you by Miss Trina. In today's podcast, we are going to be discussing preserving dignity in in-home care. Yep, let me get it to you again. Preserving dignity in in-home care. Now, dignity is a fundamental human right. But for seniors getting in-home care, it can sometimes be overlooked. Today we'll discuss how dignity matters, how caregivers can ensure it remains number one when it comes to the care that they give, and simple ways to protect clients' autonomy, to respect the client, and their emotional well-being. Okay, that's what we discussing today. We discussing how to have manners when you come up to somebody, come into somebody's house to take care of them. Basically, I mean seriously, manners. Because you know good and well you don't want nobody coming up in your house doing and saying or anything to you. So let's not let that be the case when we go up in these clients' houses. You know what I mean? So let me just set the scene for you. Okay, imagine this. You vibrant, young, you getting around, you living your best life, you chilling, you on top of yours. Okay? Now, fast forward, give me about 50 years. You in your, 60s, late 60s, early 70s, and now you can't think it's clear. And now, most of your family is done passed away. Now, a bunch of your friends have passed away also. Now you can't hardly move that much. You're not interested in life. So, somehow or another, I'm not going to say somehow or another, but you go through the proper channels, or your doctor go through the proper channels to get you a caregiver. A caregiver that'll come into your house, that will wake you in the morning, dress you, feed you, get you ready for the day. If somebody had to do that much stuff for you, wouldn't you want that person to be nice? Wouldn't you want that person to be compassionate? Wouldn't you want that person to be sweet? Wouldn't you? Because that's what we all would want. Really. That's what we all would want. Yes, ma'am, and no, ma'am go a long way. Yes, sir, and no, sir go the same distance. It really does. Now, clients receiving in-home and care they not just clients. They are actual individuals with personal histories, personal preferences, and personal identities. When it comes to caregiving, honoring dignity, it improves the mindset. It does. It lifts their self-esteem, and it makes them want to greater cooperate when you treat them with respect, because they want to be more involved with their care. Instead of just saying, girl, let me go and do that for you. You should say, is there a certain way you want me to do it for you? Since you can't do it, that's what you say. Or if you feel like they can do it, encourage them to do their task, whether it be combing their hair, whether it be, putting the toothpaste on the toothbrush, you know what I'm saying? Whether it be taking a plate from the table to the sink, if they able to, it's just to keep them moving, to keep their daily tasks up, so that they won't get all stagnant and then feel like it's, they don't feel like they're, we're feeling down like they don't want to live. See it like that, because it is something like that. That people are that lonely out there. So, but the real world experience is this. Now, a study from the Journal of Age and Research, how elderly individuals who have control over small daily decisions like meal choice or clothing selections, they seem to have a high emotional well-being than those who feel forced into routine, which is true. Because if you in your own home, and you got somebody coming in to care for you, and you still get to choose your clothes, you still get to put this, to eat this, you still get to do that, you still get to move around, you still get to enjoy all the comforts that you had while you was growing up, while you was raising your family, and so forth in that house. But when you go to a facility, that's what they mean by control. When they go to a facility, it's breakfast here at a certain time, lunch here at a certain time, dinner here at a certain time, this right here at a certain time, that right there at a certain time, and then about 8, 9 o'clock at night, bam, you back in the bed. Sometimes you don't even be tired, but but you got to go to bed. The, yeah, those are the differences. Those are the things that varies when it comes to in-home care and nursing home care. Now, the caregiver's role, which is a family member, or they can be licensed or not. But the caregiver's role is preserving dignity. Preserving dignity means balancing support with autonomy. Autonomy is the right or the control to self govern. Care shouldn't feel like an obligation, it should feel empowering, knowing you're trained to impact a life, which is true. You trained to impact somebody's life. You trained to make somebody's last days better. And that's good training to have, because God didn't do nothing but put us here to help each other, serve Him, but help each other. So that's a thing that goes hand in hand within itself. Which is a good thing. Helping people, being there for people. We just don't get no better than that. Now, when you enter a client's home, you want to have respectful conversation with them. You don't want to be cussing, and you don't want to be going fed about your situation that's going on in your life. You know what? As a matter of fact, don't talk about your business, okay? That's what you not do. Don't talk about your business. Just have a respectful conversation with the client about, what they used to do, how they used to live, hobbies and stuff. The small talk. Same thing I said about my, companion care versus medical care. The same thing. You just digging, you just getting to know them. So that way you best know how to take care of them. And encourage their independence. Like, instead of just saying, like I said earlier, here, let me do that. No, you encourage them to do it. Yeah, hand her the comb, hand her the pants, hand her the shoes, hand him the socks, hand him his jacket, hand her sweater. Yeah, encourage them to do those activities and keep doing those activities, because once they feel like they got somebody that's there to do everything for them, then they ain't gonna want to do everything. They ain't gonna want to do nothing. Forget about not wanting to be doing everything. They ain't gonna want to do nothing. You know, and we sure don't want their frame of mind there. And avoid infantilization. And I say that because, like, don't be talking to these people like they're a kid, man. You know what I'm saying? Come on, baby. You know you can do it. You don't tell no grown person you can do it. What's wrong with you? Look, don't get me wrong. If you are encouraging them, okay. But don't infantilize it. Yeah. Baby this, baby that, sweetie this, honey that, honey that. You know what I'm saying? Unless they actually like that, and let's actually make them, what make them move. Shoot. And baby, if it is, they be all kind of honey sugar bees messing with me. If it'll make that person feel better, but that's only at y'all discretion. You don't want to be acting like that while the family around or whatever. Because somebody probably take offense to that. Trust me, that had happened to me, so I know what I'm talking about. But just keep it strictly professional when you're out in these folks' house, And the real world experience is this, for real. You can have task-oriented care, okay? Task-oriented care is textbook. They're going to go in there, they're going to speed, they're going to get them up in the morning, they're going to get them dressed, put them in a wheelchair, take them to breakfast, bam, they done. As opposed to dignity-driven care, where the compassionate side of a person comes out. Where when you knock on the door, you introduce yourself. And you address that person as Mr. or Mrs. When you ask that person if they would like a warm towel to wash their face. When you ask that person if they would like to pick out what they want to wear for today before breakfast. When you ask that person what do they want for breakfast. Instead of just being monotone and going in there making just any old thing, anything that you want. You know what I'm saying? You have made it for them. That ain't cool. Like I said, The dignity issue is a big issue, you know, because it can be overlooked. It can be overlooked. I have seen it. I have been a part of it. It can be overlooked, especially when you rushing for time. If you got, if you in a room, a patient's room with a patient, and you got two more lights going off, and ain't nobody getting your lights, so yeah, you gonna have that sense of urgency in you. But as opposed to in-home care, like if you in an in-home care setting and you taking care of somebody at home, then it shouldn't be no need to rush because your focus and your focus is strictly on that one person. You know, so that's a good thing. But dignity, it ain't just no idea; it's actionable. You know, you respect that person's personal preferences. You ask about their food choices, their AM routines, and their habits. You know, you encourage the decision making, like what you gonna wear, girl? Like, girl, what you want for breakfast this morning? It's a lot of ways that you can come at people to let them know that you are friendly and yet and also compassionate. It's certain ways you can do it. But use empathetic language like, how would you like this done? Instead of, her, girl, let me do that for you. Just ask them. Like, how you want this done since you know what I'm saying, you tripping over there. You know what I mean? I mean, you know, that's what you can do, but prioritize privacy too. I don't care if you've been taking care of this person for 8, 9 years. They stay in another room, go on knock on that door. Especially in the bathroom. Go on knock on the door, man. You ain't gotta bust in on folks, man. See what they doing. That ain't cool. Just knock. Knock when you come in and knock when you're going out if you have to. For real. Now, the real world experience with this with a caregiver who allows clients to participate in care, like, you know, pick their own shower days, stuff like that. They report higher levels of cooperation and trust compared to the caregivers who just take full control. Girl, come on, let me bathe you. Girl, come on, let me. Girl, let me do this for you. Girl, let me put that on you. You know, and then, you know, I mean, seriously, I have seen it before. You're gonna make a person lazy. And when I say you make a person lazy, they look forward to for you doing everything to them and for them. And you know that shouldn't be the case if you preserve in life. You should let that person stay active, be active, do as much as they can do for themselves. Now, don't get me wrong. Now, as wonderful as nursing is, it's some pitfalls off in there. For real, it's some pitfalls. You know, you can avoid them pitfalls though if you pay close attention and you smart about what you're doing. For real. Because us as caregivers, we can intentionally violate dignity, like I said, due to, like I said, time constraints, a burnout, you know, or just lack of unawareness. You know what I'm saying? Just lack of awareness because, you know, you trying to get this done, you trying to get that done, you trying to get that done hour before the clock strike 12. You know, and you do have to, you know, move around fast. You do have to, you know, be swift in what you're doing, but still, you know, the curl got to be, it still got to be top notch with whatever you're doing. But common mistakes to avoid though is rushing the task though. You know what I'm saying? Curl should be thoughtful, not just effective. You know, you already know as soon as you get through doing this, you get through doing that, boom, 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 discard your gloves, boom, wash your hands, boom, 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 boom. You know what I'm saying? Just go and wash your hands before you leave out them folks' room. Sure. I mean, you know what I mean? Then you can sanitize and put your gloves on for the next patient. Go answer the other light. You know, you can, I mean, it can be done. Now, uh, treating them with respect and not, mm, let me see. How do you call that? See, when you treat a person with respect, it'll make them want to engage more with their care. Because I'm telling you, Mr. and Mrs. go a long way in these facilities, and they go even longer further in these people's houses. You know? And you know, caregiving shouldn't feel like it's something that you are obligation, something that you just gotta do because you get paid. You should be feeling, you know, you should feel empowered to do that. To be the reason that somebody else is feeling good today. To be the reason that this lady is dressed and she got a cute hairstyle going on, and she feel like she 30 when she really 71. This kind of, you know what I'm saying? That kind of curl. That's the kind of curl that everybody would need. But at its core, though, dignity is about value, recognizing the worth of every individual receiving care. Today, let me get that to you again. The call to action is at its core. Dignity is about value, recognizing the worth of every individual receiving care. Now, that's all right. Today, we covered the importance of dignity in home care. But to make sure every interaction preserves a person's humanity, please have compassion with it. Because your interaction with people is actually what it was started. You know how they say first impressions are the best impression? Make your first impression your best impression. And make the following day's impressions better than that when it comes to home care. You know, when it comes to taking care of people in their house, when it comes to preserving people's dignity in a nursing home facility. You know, dignity is something that we all just say, like this, it's a God-given right. It's a human right. We say it like that. Dignity is a human right. Everybody should be treated with dignity and respect. So with that being said, people, y'all can go on ahead and continue to love on each other. And I'll see y'all in the next one.